Hello and welcome to Material Musings. Today I said I was going to work on some of the stitch projects I've got sitting around, and here are just some small ones. I'm just dipping my feet back in because I've got quite a few projects that are larger, but I thought I would look at one of these and see which one I wanted to move further on. And I'm thinking this one, and so we're just going to spend some time today and you'll see what I do to move this on. I would like to maybe add some beading, and here are some beads that I have. I've got quite a few, but I just pulled these out just to think about maybe there are some of the colours that I can use in some of these on this. We've got the pinks. I've got some pink bead in here. They're all seed, most of them are seed beads. These ones are a lot larger, but I was thinking, say, these green, they're kind of, they're matte as opposed to the glassy kind of see-through beads. And then we've got some like kind of crystally type. We've got these. It's from a necklace that I'd taken apart and just liked the beads, and so thought I would use them. So we'll have a look. I've got some here, but we'll see. I think it will pick up if I do use this particular one, it will pick up the green, and yeah, maybe I can bring it out a bit. So let us get on. I was thinking first off to go round the word. I want this word to be just a bit more prominent, and I'm going to use a different colour. So this is this kind of reddy colour. I've used 2 strands of embroidery floss and I've doubled it, so it would work out to 4. So I'm just going to spend time going around the word, and you'll see how I add. I'm going to add some more stitching and maybe start looking at some of the beads that I can add and how it's going to look. So with the wording, I'm just going to do, I'm thinking of just doing the outside of the word, adding additional thread. I'm doing the back stitch. So when we get to the O, I would just be doing the outside and one side of the each of the letters. Having small pieces like this can be very meditative and relaxing. So these small pieces can, oh, I like the look of that. It's quite cool. But you can make them into a variety of different things. I haven't decided what I want this one to be, but it could be like a framed piece. You could attach it to a fabric journal. But just creating them and putting them in a frame is nice, or creating a mini wall hanging. And it's a very therapeutic activity because I kind of just make loads of them up. I'm always doing some stitching and bringing pieces together, and so with all the ones that I've done so far with so many left to complete. You can see how much therapeutic stitching I've been doing, but I think it's good for you. I never would have thought this would be something that I would be doing. I mean, I've always liked the idea of sewing, machine stitching, making my own clothes, but not necessarily creating art pieces, working with fabric in the way that I now work. And seeing the benefits that I'm not somebody to sit down and just close my eyes and just meditate in that way, but this way, having my hands busy doing an activity and then just stilling my mind is something that resonates. So the words were stitched on a cotton. It was a fairly heavy cotton, so it can take the different weights of thread, the different strands, without buckling. Some of the pieces will kind of buckle or pucker, pull, where you've got the pulling of the thread against the weight of the material. But it's nice to think about how you can overcome that, as well as just using, say, different threads. You might decide to add additional embroidery stitches, which will help create a nice effect. And the fabrics that I'm stitching have been wax resist and dyed, hand dyed, and then we've got all of this additional stitching on. So it's not that I don't think it needs a whole lot of stitching, I just think it needs to be brought to its place of completion. And that for me sometimes is adding beading. And just being part of this relaxed activity. Now, as I made the decision just to do the outside, I'm now coming to the conclusion that I want to do it on either side. So I'm going to go back over those two and add the stitching on the other side. So you'll have the blue thread sandwiched in the middle. Okay, so that's the O, and I think I prefer it, so as I say, I'm going to go around all the others. And I think what I'll do now is look at the beads I'm going to continue with that. I'm not going to finish it today. So I don't need to finish it today. I can just take my time, and that's the whole point. I think what you may need to do is look in your own, some of your own works, and maybe think about how you can move them on. And that's really, that was really the kind of aim for Material Musings, underpinning, okay, so what is it you need to finish, and looking at how it can impact us, whether it's the words that we use, the stitches that we're learning, and things like that. So I am going to take out some of these bigger crystals. They're large in colour, and it's very similar to the dyed piece of fabric that I've done here. It's been dyed with paints. It's got wax resist as well, and different types of paints. This is avocado dyed. This is another wax resist piece. And whilst this colour is very different from the colours that we've got in there, what I might then do is add this around the piece, stitched around the piece, but we want to get the green in, so I'm looking at maybe adding these around the edge, so just different colours of green, and I think it ties in nicely with this. So we'll be adding the beads around there like that. And let me see at the bottom as well. So I've got some others in here. So we've got 6 at the top and 6 at the bottom. I want to bring in these lighter colour beads, and maybe put them, say, 3 or 5 in between, and the thread that I want to introduce is this one. This will go nicely with the with these beads. I think, yeah, it's very similar colour. And maybe what I would do is to bring in this colour, I would just go round this with the same kind of, it's a kind of dusky pink maybe. Right, so the choice I'm going to make is, this is what I'm going to do. Finish off the word, go round the word, and then go round the whole piece with this. It's this colour. Is it this colour? Nope. Yeah, it's this colour. So go around the piece with this colour, the whole piece. Then I'm going to take the green, go around it in green, and then add the bead in. Yeah? I think that's what we're going to do. So that's a project I'm going to be working on this week, and it's quite a busy week. So I've got lots to try and fit in, and it would be great if you find a piece that you want to work on and you can decide to move it forward to its next stage, yeah? So you know what I'm going to be working on. I'm going to hopefully try and show you some midweek progress, either in the community tab here on YouTube, or I'll share it on my Instagram. And yeah, we'll have fun with it. You know the steps that I'm going to take. I think it's important to make a start. I'm holding myself accountable. And as I say, there's other projects that I'm doing, but yeah, I want to see what you're working on, and I want to see what steps you're going to take. I think it's about breaking down the things that seem like mountains, and working through them. And I think I just want to give myself something that is pretty straightforward and is enjoyable anyway, and I get to add my beads, and that's what these projects, so all of these will go through the same kind of transformation. You would have seen them, I shared them in a previous post, but I've got quite a few of the smaller projects that need to be brought on, either to be incorporated into another project, or to be a standalone small project. And the other thing that this will need is a back-in as well. So when you see it next, it will probably have its back-in, and I'll have to decide what colour to use. It'll probably be a greeny type of colour. I've got an idea of what I want to use, but I'll have to see if I've got any of that fabric available. I think I have. Do you want to have a sneak peek of it now? This wasn't the fabrics I had in mind, but I don't think I've got enough of that fabric. So I've brought 3 other that I will take a look at. So that's the first one. I didn't think, but it's picking up some of the colours that are there already. So that's a contender, but it's quite a thinner fabric. There's this one. It would pick up all the greens. And then we're going to have, obviously, we will have both of these there. And then the third one, I'm saying no, but I thought I would bring it anyway. I really don't think this would. That's a no-no. This was the fabric that I had in mind, but this is a different project. This is already on a project, but I just want to see what it looks like. I think it's perfect. I think it would be perfect with the pink, the green from the stones, and then you've got you'll have the light green. I think the 2 contenders are these 2. Unless I can find this one, then this one might have to be the one that, because it's got the green in the beads, you've got the green, you've got the green in the beads, and then you've got some of the white, you've got darker greens, so that I might have to use that. And it's like, it's, you just use what you've got, yeah. And it's nice to have a contrast. So. Right, so I'm going to leave it there for now. You've seen my choices, and when you see it next week, you will see what I then decided to use. Sometimes you just need to jump in and use what you've got and make it work somehow. There are so many elements that do make it work. That does go really nicely with that. And so I do think, unless I can find a piece of fabric this, some more of this, then we'll go with this one. And yeah, we'll take it from there. So I hope that you enjoyed that short session and look forward to seeing you again soon.